Worst film you ever saw? Well, my next one will be better. Hello? Hello?
Today's film club presentation is Tim Burton's 1994 film, Ed Wood. If you look at any list of the greatest films ever made, it's not uncommon to find Citizen Kane hogging the top spot. However, at the other end of a very long list, including every film ever made, you'll probably find the 1956 film Plan 9 from Outer Space, generally considered to be the worst film ever made. Its director, one Edward D. Wood Jr., was also awarded the Golden Turkey for the worst director of all time. His films were legendary for their terrible scripts, hokey special effects, wooden acting and flimsy sets, and yet he continued to work in Hollywood, turning out classics like Bride of the Monster and Glen or Glenda. He was also a transvestite with a fetish for Angora jumpers and often appeared in drag, performing in or sometimes directing his films.
Where's my pink sweater? I never seem to find my clothes anymore.
Cut to 1993, and writers Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski, frustrated at being pigeonholed as children's film writers after their work on Problem Child, gave a 10-page treatment about the life of Ed Wood to fellow film student graduate Michael Lehman. Lehman had directed cult hit Heathers and seemed the perfect choice for a film like this. However, Heathers' producer Denise Denovi had also worked with Tim Burton, and once he saw the 147-page first draft the writers had handed in, he was hooked. Not only that, but he was going to shoot the first draft of the script unaltered. Lehman, who was already committed to another film, got a producer's credit, and Burton took on the directing job.
Let him come up, out, and stay there for a second before you start to go over. Okay?
But very good. Okay, light it, and then move it in. Okay, good, John, up and down right there.
Burton first approached the studios that he already made a lot of money for, like Warner Brothers, for whom he'd made the multi-million-dollar juggernaut Batman. But the project was eventually set up at Columbia. It was shut down and put into turnaround just 8 weeks before shooting. The reason? Burton wanted to shoot the film in black and white to emulate the actual films of Ed Wood. Columbia head Mark Canton thought this was crazy talk. The decision raised the interest of Disney, who hoped to continue their relationship with Burton after Nightmare Before Christmas. They took on the project, black and white film stock and all.
Which dress do you like better?
I don't know. Say, Bill, which dress works better for you, the red one or the green one?
Which one is the red one?
What do you mean?
I mean, I can't see the difference. I'm colorblind. But I kind of like the dark gray one.
Of course, nowadays, Tim Burton is synonymous with the actor Johnny Depp. But back in 1994, the pair had only made one film together, Edward Scissorhands. This was the film that really cemented them as a creative team that would go on to make countless blockbusters.
Your part's a little different. You're like the god that looks over all the characters and oversees everything.
I don't understand.
You control everyone's fate. You're like the puppet master.
So I pull the strings.
Yes, you pull the strings. Pull the strings. I like that.
When the film was finally released, it was a hit with critics and eventually won 2 Oscars, including one for Best Makeup and one for Martin Landau's performance as Bela Lugosi. However, as predicted, it was a huge flop financially. Why? Yes, well, you guessed it. Audiences didn't want to see a black and white film. Well, that's their loss. One of the things that makes Ed Wood particularly enjoyable is the fact that Burton obviously has a lot of affection for his lead character. Instead of poking fun at Wood, it paints him as the ultimate optimist in the face of adversity. Even as his financing fails, his sets fall down, special effects refuse to work, and actors die on him and need replacing, he never gives up. By the end of Ed Wood, you'll want to seek out his films, and you'll want to love them.
Hey, it's not that bad. You can't concentrate on the negative. Look, he's got some nice things to say here. The soldiers' costumes are very realistic. That's positive.
Rave of the century.
Well, I've seen a lot worse reviews. I've seen reviews where they didn't even mention the costumes.
So sit back and enjoy Ed Wood.